Sundy, my cardioid beats so fast for you.
Well, that's because I'm sine squared and you're cos squared, so together we're 1.
Sundy, you're in my range, and I want you in my domain forever.
Okay.
Sundy, I can't do this anymore.
Wait! All we have to do is examine our problems. See? This is where we are now. Our love is all over the place. But we just need to get back on track so the graph is very stable. Okay.
Okay, go.
If we pretend that the y-axis means love and happiness, we can first look at where there was no movement in our relationship. So right here, and right here. And those will act like the roots to move forward on. So we can draw another graph like this, and the next step is we have to look at where our relationship goes downhill. So here we have a downhill slope, and here we have a downhill slope. And so we use this part, so from this interval, that means the graph will be negative on the derivative of that graph. So it will be negative here. And then we look at the next interval, and we see that the slope is positive, so that means the graph will be positive on the derivative. Okay. We look at the next interval, and we see that there's a negative slope. That means, again, on the derivative, it will be negative. Okay, and then the last interval is positive, so the graph would be positive in that interval.
So next we can find a better way, one with even less bumps. So if we take a look at this section, we see an increasing slope. So that's going to become an increasing section in our new parabola, as opposed to a cubic function. So this part becomes a positive part of the function. This descending slope becomes a negative part of the function, and this ascending slope becomes another section of the function above the with a value above 0 reaching up to infinity.
But there's one last thing we must do. Let's find the derivative of this function. So first, again, with the same exact steps, we take the minimum of this parabola and we bring it down so it's a root of the new function. And in this interval, you can see there's a downward slope. That means in this function, it will be in the negatives. So from here, it's in the negative. And then we see here, this is a positive slope. So it extends up here into a linear function, which is where we want our relationship to be. Now that we've derived a solution for our relationship,
we're not going to have any more bumps in the road.